Speak to Javed Ali, a former senior national security official who served with the FBI, the National Security Council, and right across the American intelligence community, now an associate professor of practice at the University of Michigan. Professor, we always appreciate your time. Let's start with this designation that Trump has given this attack in a kind of Trump way, an unofficial manner. He says it's an act of terror. How important is that designation, and how important is the fact that the suspect is Afghan?
So nice to be with you as well this morning. And I would agree with President Trump's assertion that this seems to fit the hallmarks of a politically or ideologically motivated attack that would then legally and analytically be considered terrorism here in the United States. This appears to be premeditated, deliberate, targeted. And we don't yet know if the actual target was, or the intended target was the National Guard troops, or was potentially the shooter thinking of something else, to include the White House, which was only a couple of blocks away. But we know he shot the two Guard troops, and hopefully they can survive. So this seems to me to fit within that terrorism framework. And the fact he came from Afghanistan 4 years ago. Did he get radicalized here? Did he harbor those same beliefs when he was in Afghanistan and then came here and sort of got further radicalized and angry? These are things we don't yet know.
And yet there will be an element of the American electorate that will see the act being committed by a foreigner. And that will lead to its own kind of, well, it'll provide a momentum, certainly, for people who are anti-immigrant. What about the issue of Donald Trump deploying the National Guard to so many cities? Does that create almost a situation which could encourage this kind of attack? A National Guard are not usually deployed the way Donald Trump is deploying them. And if someone has some kind of complaint on which they want to act violently, that could be an easy target for them.
So I'll try and take both sides of those questions from you. So on the first part, this is only the latest type of person we've seen over the last several decades that has immigrated to the United States from a Muslim country, but also has become radicalized and then mobilized to try to conduct some type of terrorist attack. This is not the first time it's happened. And in my career in government from 2002 to 2018, unfortunately, we saw lots of other examples of this as well. Now, but what I do think is going to be potentially different is a much tougher sort of policy review on Afghan immigrants, especially those who came in over the last 4 years, tens of thousands, because you don't want to see somebody else emerge from that same broad pool of people and act out violently like this. But it also could lead to a much tougher crackdown on immigration writ large. And that, I think, is one of the bigger policy issues that may come out of that. That may not be on the table yet, but it wouldn't surprise me that the White House is sort of rethinking its entire posture on immigration as a result of this. And when it gets to the National Guard, we don't yet know if those two Guard troops, or the troops that were in that particular sector, Washington, D.C., were they really the targets that the shooter was trying to attack, or was it just opportunistic? And he was so angry and radicalized, and he drove across the country from Bellingham, Washington, and he had a firearm, and he was going to attack somebody or a group of people that day, and he just happened to, the Guard troops at the Farragut West entrance, they were the ones that just presented an opportunity. So we don't yet know. On the bigger issue with National Guard deployments in the U.S., yes, this is something that President Trump has done in a non-emergency situation. Whether it will lead to more potential attacks like this, we don't also know. Hopefully the answer to that is not, because the Guard troops have not been engaged in activities that are generating headlines the way you see with immigration raids and other things in U.S. cities.
Javed Ali, thank you so much indeed, sir. Really appreciate it.